I started content creation 5 years ago. Who would have thought that recording yourself with a camera and creating 1-minute videos in your home could lead to a 6-figure business? Content creation has allowed people like me with no network, no background, and no notable degree to create massive success in their lives. And I know that this will also be the gateway for new millionaires that none of this world has ever seen. Here in the Philippines, there are 93.8 million people going online based on a study back in 2022. I'm sure that the figures has risen up. And just imagine if you could get just a fraction of the reach or the attention that's going on in people's phones, how much business and how many people could you actually reach? You don't even need to spend a lot of money on ads. Just get people coming in and knowing more about you. So if your goal is to reach 1 million followers or to earn 6 digits or 7 digits by creating videos on your phone, then content creation is for you. My name is Alec Cuenca, and I have been creating content on personal development, love and relationships, and success, and now content creation. I have over 2.5 million followers on all of my social media channels. I'm reaching more than 150 million people per year. I host one of the top podcasts here in the Philippines, and posting content is something that I do every single day. Today, I'm earning more than I could have ever imagined. I can work anytime, anywhere I want, and I'm able to reach a lot of people all over the world. I get to experience all of these because I started to create content. But let's say for some bizarre reason, I lose everything that I have right now. I hit that reset button and I had to start from scratch. And I need to get to where I currently am. Where do I begin? How do I start? I did a lot of trial and error in the past 5 years. But if I had to start all over again, here are the 5 steps that I would do to get me back to where I am. Number 1, know yourself better. A lot of people, they focus on knowing their market, knowing other people's preferences, and they spend less or no time in knowing themselves. I really think that it is unproductive, it's inefficient, because if you start to know yourself more than knowing your audience, you're now starting to do this for the long game. If you want to do this over and over again, especially when things get hard, especially when there's a lot of challenges and reasons not to go forward with it, knowing yourself and the whole why, the whole macro point of things on why you're doing this will help you move forward. So here are 3 questions that can help you know yourself better. Number 1, why do you want to do this? Having a clear why is like having a North Star. It's like having roots, and it helps you keep grounded, that no matter how much you get swayed, your roots will keep you intact. Your roots will keep you grounded, and you will still keep on creating content. Now, for a lot of people, their reason is to create fame, success, or even money, and that's totally okay. That's not bad. But if you want to keep doing this for the long game, you gotta go deeper than that. So I suggest asking yourself or doing the 5 whys. Like, okay, that's the first layer of why. Now, why do you want to have that? And then ask again 5 times, why? So that you would be clearer on the big why, the biggest or the deep why that you really have on why you want to create your content. The second question is, what are your interests? You need to know what are the topics that you want to talk about. And a lot of people, they try to focus on finding their own niche, but you don't need to have a niche yet. In fact, I just want you to know what are the things that you are passionate about or passionate to talk about. What are the things that you're really interested in? Because if you talk about things that you're interested in, then you can create a lot of content in a single day. You can talk about it for hours and hours with a lot of passion as well. And if you're able to do that, then you won't have a hard time in thinking, what content do you really want to create? So ask yourself, what are your interests? And start creating content from there. The third one is, what are the problems that you have already solved or you are currently solving? Knowing yourself by asking yourself, what are the problems that you have solved, can easily give you the authority to talk about that particular topic. A lot of people are scared that they may get haters. They might get people say on the comment section that whatever you're talking about is wrong, I don't believe that. And those things won't matter if you are always speaking from your truth. And you can only speak from your truth if you're talking about things that you have already experienced, especially when you're talking about problems that you have already solved. Or let's say you are still solving that problem, then talk about what is really happening. What are you currently feeling? What are the current struggles? What are the current challenges? What are the current emotions? And document the process. A lot of people, they are so hung up in trying to create legit kind of content that they forget that content creation is merely a tool of expression. And if you are in your time that you are still trying to figure things out, then you can still use content creation as a way to show that you are still trying to figure things out. Step number 2, understanding platforms and culture. If you want to get started on creating content on different platforms, well, you gotta understand 2 things. The platforms and how the videos or the content or what kind of medium are you gonna use in that specific platform. And more importantly, the culture in that specific platform. And it's different. One of the biggest mistakes that content creators or starting content creators do is that they create one piece of content and they try to repurpose and post it everywhere. It's not gonna work. What's gonna work is you understand the culture of that platform and you create a content that is specifically for the culture of that platform. So for example, if you are gonna post on, let's say, Facebook, Facebook is a platform where it's much more personal. It can be a mixture of videos, photos, or even blog posts that is really authentic and just talks about specific experiences, maybe some personal thoughts that people can relate to. A lot of people are selling on Facebook. That makes it a good platform for converting people from maybe a follower to a customer, or maybe who's just your casual friend, into building deeper connections into that. Now, Twitter is good for networking opportunities. It's basically a big group chat for people that you want to talk about real-time news as well. All the things that are trending on any kind of social media platforms, you want to get real-time updates, you got to go on Twitter, you got to go on X or Threads. So if you want to create content there, it needs to be something really digestible, really fast to consume, and just quick to create as well. If let's say you want to create content on Instagram, it was originally a photography platform, but now you can see a lot of people posting video platforms there. So if you're going to create content on Instagram, it needs to be visually pleasing. It needs to be visually appealing to people, or it will attract the people who really spend the time curating what's on their screens, what's on their feed. So in a sense, you gotta be aesthetic if you want to post on Instagram compared to the other platforms. If you want to choose, let's say, LinkedIn is a more professional platform where the culture there is just people talking about networking opportunities, business opportunities, connect with other professionals through that platform. So if you're looking to make friends or more like colleagues in your own industry, then LinkedIn is the perfect way to go. And let's say you want to start on YouTube. If you want to start on YouTube, you got to understand that it's a mega platform. People search a lot of things on YouTube. People watch a lot of educational videos and very entertaining videos on YouTube as well. And sometimes the long form videos and the long form content is posted or are posted on YouTube. And if you want short form content, it's bite size and you just want to grow fast and quick, then you go to TikTok, because it's still the best platform that you can start or grow in your content creation journey. Step number 3, understand the basics of content creation. There's 2 things that I want you to understand in doing so. Number 1 is having a good enough production. Now, I'm not asking you to buy a camera and a mic and some good lighting, because whatever you have right now, even if it's just your phone, you can easily start creating content. So having a good enough production, of course, you need to still study the basics of what's a good lighting, how do you create good audio, how do you write your scripts, how do you get more engagement through the content that you're creating for the platforms that you want to create on. So you gotta learn these things. And number 1 is still having a good enough production. I don't want you to get hung up in collecting all of these gears and not creating content. And I'd rather have you start with whatever you have right now and just start creating content. The second thing that I want you to understand in doing this is the basic structure of a content. The second thing that I want you to understand is learn how to create engaging content. Something that I teach that I also learned from all these content creators out there is the viral content structure. And so most viral content has the same structure. And it starts with the hook, meaning the hook is where you try to get the attention of your audience, whether it's the first 3 seconds of a short form or it's the first 1 minute of a long form. It's the first part of the content that tries to make people be interested in the content that you're about to share. The second is the retain. The retain is where you try to keep them watching your content. So you can do a lot of techniques, you can do a lot of editing, you can do a lot of storytelling techniques or tips or tricks so that you make people stay and watch your content up until the end. Because in content creation, the algorithm just looks for content that people finish or spend most of their hours and minutes on. The last part is the reward. You gotta make sure that your content is rewarding people with something, whether it's rewarding them with inspiration, education, or entertainment. That's something that people just want to get when they are watching your videos. So that's the basic foundation of it all. You have a hook, you have a way to retain your audience, you have a reward for people who consumes your content. I deep dive on this structure in my course, the 7-hour content system. You can check it out below. I talked about there every step and everything that you need to know in growing to your first 100K followers. So if you want to learn more about that, make sure you check it out down below. Step number 4, create every day. Content creation is a habit that you want to bring into your life. I've been coaching a lot of people, and usually in the first weeks that we do the content creation process, it's all about making it a habit for them. And you want to be able to create every single day, because it doesn't matter how many videos on YouTube you are watching on how to create content. What matters is you start creating every single day. Because one thing that I have learned is that you must better your best, meaning you got to be able to get to this point where you are constantly creating, mastering your craft, putting in the 10,000 burning hours for you to get good at creating content. This is why most of the creators that you look up to, they really spend a lot of their time mastering their craft. You hear Mr. Beast, if you're in the Philippines, you hear Kong. There are people who are really spending a lot of time in creating content. If you start doing it every single day, the chances of you getting good at content creation will, of course, blow up through the roof. I think I read it somewhere that if you want to be an expert at something, you just spend 2 hours every single day for the next year and automatically you'd become an expert. If you can carve out time every single day to create content, you'd be able to master your personal brand faster than you could have ever imagined. So one thing that I want you to remember when you are creating every single day is to let go of the perfection. Your first video is gonna suck. I'm gonna tell you right now, no one is gonna watch your first video. No one is gonna listen to your first episode. No one is gonna like your first post. No one will. And it's okay, because you don't want people to already find you, especially when you're new in this craft. You wanna be able to practice and practice so that when people find you, when you already have an audience, you're already good at what you're doing. And no one gets good without putting in the hours. So let go of the perfectionism and choose progress over perfection. As long as you're doing this daily, you will get better. And that itself is the reward. This is the same thing that you're gonna hear from all of the successful content creators out there. You gotta let go of the perfectionism and you gotta start creating your 100 videos, 100 episodes, 100 posts. Because only then you will get a chance of becoming successful at this. Not even sure, but only then you will get a chance of being successful. So make sure that you throw perfection out of the way and just start creating every day. Step number 5 is to develop a game plan. You want to be able to do this for a very long time. You want to be able to do this for the long game. And so having a game plan in place, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you are a businessman that basically don't have any time to create content, you still have to create content and you still need to find a way to do this. So how do you do it? you develop a game plan. You strategize on how you would be able to create content consistently and post every single day so that you can reach more and more people while not sacrificing all the other things that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to make content creation additional work for us. One of the easiest strategies that I use in my content creation is something that I call batching. Batching is where you schedule one day for all the things that you need to create. You shoot that on one day, you record it on one day, and then you upload it for the next week or for the next month, depending on your content plan. When I started batching my content for the week. I would shoot 7 videos every single Sunday so that for Mondays to Sundays, I would have something to post. For sometimes I schedule it, for sometimes I just manually post it. I just made sure that when I was starting, I was just trying to build the habit of creating content. So it didn't really matter for me, but it made my life so much easier when I started to do everything in just one single day. Right now, what I do is I schedule 2 days. One is scheduling the time that I write, that I conceptualize my content. The second is, of course, recording the content. And now that I have my team, I delegate it to them to edit the videos and to publish the videos and manage the content online as well. Again, if you want more strategies in doing that, I have created and shared on my online course the 7-hour content system, the 7-step process of how you can get better in strategizing and planning your content creation process, from the ideation to the writing, from the recording, shooting, analyzing your insights, publishing, and of course, repurposing your content. All of the process that I did, that I also shared to my clients, I talked about it there. So if you want to learn more about it, make sure that you click it down below. So again, those are the 5 things. Number 1, know yourself better. Number 2, understand platforms and the culture. Number 3, understand basic content creation principles. Number 4 is create every day. And number 5 is develop a game plan. If I had to start all over again, I'd just do these 5 things and surely I would still get to where I am today. So congratulations on taking the first step of becoming the creator. Again, if I had to lose everything, I would just follow these 5 steps and I'd still get to where I am right now. And for sure, if you're watching this, if you follow these 5 steps, you can definitely grow your personal brand through content creation as well. So again, that's all for this video. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below your thoughts, your questions. I would love to answer your questions, anything about content creation. That's why we put up this channel, to help content creators start their journey as well. And by the way, I have a free community where I do live streams and I have a lot of free resources there as well. It's called the Creator Academy. If you want to learn more about it, make sure that you check it out in the description box and join it because it's free. You'll get a lot of insights and you'll meet a lot of new people as well. So that's it for this video. My name is Alec Cuenca. See you next video. Peace.